The excitement's brewing. Okay, so here we are. This is truly an international business because we've just come out of the most incredible celebration over here in Australia. You're heading into the most incredible celebration there in the UK. And we have New Zealanders here. We have the English team here. We just got everybody, and it's very, very, very exciting. So Sophie was just talking that, you know, we've just crowned our IsaBody champion here in Australia, and she's talking about it from the perspective of the UK. So, Soph, I'm just going to hand over to you to kick us off with that story, because how awesome is that? Instead of us sharing that story, you can share it from a UK perspective. Go, girl.
Yeah. So Ruth over here, who's rather lovely, who now lives in Spain, we met at a David Wood, one of the early ones, actually, and her son, Thomas, has just won it. And what was lovely is Julia was saying, oh, you know, we know Lisa and we're so excited about Lisa. And what was lovely is apparently Lisa was absolutely, well, smashing them all out the training park with their training. But they were saying that what was lovely, she was saying that what was lovely is that they were all so unified, because obviously one person had to win it and one person did for New Zealand. But, and I think interesting enough, Terry Ann, who's went over to Celebration from the UK guys for 3 days, and I think she's flying back now. She's nuts. But obviously those of us that know Terry Ann, because she's UK and New Zealand, one of her friends, I think, won the New Zealand IsaBody. So we are one team, one global team. But what was lovely was that Ruth said that the unity of everybody within the IsaBody challenge, it really wasn't about someone winning, because someone had to win it, but they were also friendly and unified together. And it was lovely because Julia was saying it, I was saying it, Ruth was saying it, so it was rather lovely. And then we've got our UK one coming up soon.
Absolutely. So we just had the most amazing time, but more importantly, that there was an incredible feeling of day one was all about increasing belief and really building our belief in where we're at, whether in the right place at the right time, and about you know, taking action and pulling it all together. So that was amazing. And then day two was all about giving us the tools. So next Sunday night, we're getting a whole lot of us on a call, and that's your time in the UK, 10 a.m. Sunday morning. Of course, it'll be recorded, and we will do specific segments of it and just, you know, hit you with some incredible information. But before that, this is a great time for us, just really fresh off the mark, to share some things with you. So I will start with, let's start with Lisa. Lisa's leapt on early morning this morning. So Lisa, let's hand to you.
Hey guys, so great. Thanks Heather. So great to see you all. And so that is such phenomenal share to start with, babe, because really that was, again, one of the big takeaways that I got this celebration was just how unified we are as a community, as a tribe, globally, and that just really solidified. So thank you so much for sharing that. My big takeaway that I want to share with you guys, like, you have set your celebration coming up in March. What I would say to you, no matter what anybody says to you, no matter what excuse, whatever challenge people come up with as to why they can't be there, find a solution for them. No matter what, you want to have as many bums on seats at that event that you can. And I'm talking all out, massive action, like push through whatever it is that's holding you back. See it from a perspective of, this is not about you and how many people you can have there. It's about your opportunity to really just have as many people there that they can see what it is for them to have the experience walking out, for them to create and choose whatever life they want, whether it's a life of freedom from financial stress, if it's a life of freedom from the abuse that they've been putting on their body for however many years, whatever it is, give them the opportunity to see what's possible for them coming out. And that really is my biggest thing with you guys going in do what it takes. Like, really, don't take no as an excuse. Like, find out why they're saying no to you and find a solution. Find the solution, and they will be eternally grateful to you for having them there. What about you, George? What was your one big takeaway from the weekend?
Ooh. I don't know. I couldn't really put it down to one. Just that there's no dream that's too big. You stop dreaming small. Really go for it.
I know I've just woken these two up to jump on the board, so they're both a bit vague. Sandy?
I think for me the biggest one was the way that Eric Worre talks about handling objections, and there's absolutely no one on this planet that you cannot handle an objection for. So it's learning how to handle objections so that people basically can see for themselves that there really is no objection. So learn the way that he does it, and every single person that you talk to, does not matter what their objection is, you'll be able to have a real conversation with them once they get over themselves.
Great, absolutely, and we'll go into that more detail next Sunday night. Absolutely, Sandy. And you know, Eric, for the person that he is and how much knowledge he's got, he still goes to those really simple templates. So if you go back to, you know, the system that we're talking about, which is there is a system for everything. And so, and we're just adding more and more to that with what's happened over the weekend, and that then we can continue to share with you. Okay, Jen. Oh, she can't talk.
Sorry, no, I can.
Oh, yeah.
I'm running off my phone. My laptop's not wanting to.
I got you. I'm muting. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. That was what, my 10th celebration in Australia. And it's just so grounded, but there's nothing new. There really isn't. The handful of core basics, but doing them with absolute purpose is what brings it in. It's the decision that it's not negotiable. You will rank advance, whatever it is too. And someone in our chat from Celebration on the weekend said, I think it was Alan, said, and he did it so well, it's not about me rank advancing this year. It's me having 100 bumps on seats at next year's celebration. Because guys, if you help everyone else achieve their dreams, you achieve yours. You can't not. So it's how many people are you simply going to help them achieve their dreams this year? That's it. And I agree with Lisa. Tell them if they've got kids, take the freaking kids to Celebration. You can have kids at Celebration. Just don't let kids and all those kind of things be an excuse why people can't go. And if people say they can't afford to go, and it's true, it's even more reason for them to go. If they don't have the time and the money, in 12 months' time, I posted this morning, they're not going to be in the same place. They're going to be worse off. It is not going to get any better. So take a stand for people. And how many people do you want to help over the next 12 months? Because that's the reality. And it's statistically, it's $1,000 for every person who attends Celebration in your downline. That's the amount of income they're worth to you over a year. So imagine that we actually got paid by Jim and Kathy lining up at the front doors when you walked into Celebration. And for every single person who walked through the door, you got $1,000 cash. Because you actually what you get paid. It is. The numbers don't lie. So if you want to earn more than 100 grand next year, you want that many people in your downline at Celebration. That's it. If you've got 10 people going, guess what? Your income over the next year is going to be about 10 grand. The numbers just work out that way. So who are you going to still got time to get tickets to Celebration to? Get them there. And then from that, who are you going to have there next year? How many people? Because that's what will build your business.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I had a girl, Caroline, who came with her 4-year-old daughter. She's a solo mum. She flew here. She's trained home yesterday to Sydney. And yeah, she only probably got, 3/4, even maybe half, because of the fact she had her daughter with her, but she was able to experience it. And she's full of the fact that she's so happy and so grateful that she made that effort. So, whatever the situation is, people can overcome it. So don't be thinking it's too late. Okay, who's next? Well, I've got Wal right here beside me. So this is Wal's first celebration.
Hey guys.
Welcome, Wal, to the team.
Thanks, Heather. Celebration being the first one was just mind blowing. I was really amazed by the passion, the excitement, the people were demonstrating there. And when you got 5,500 people yelling and screaming, belief is really, really easy. So, and just having the IsaBody guys come across the stage, very motivating. I signed up straight away for the next IsaBody challenge. So hope to be on stage next year too. See you guys.
Thanks, Wal. And Wal will join us more often now on Sunday nights. So, you know, it's just building that community, which is so exciting. I just wanted to say, Lloyd and Alicia, you've heard me talk about them quite often. And one of the things for me was Lloyd, once again, and I've heard this so many times, talking about the simplicity of developing your story, sharing your story, and then outsourcing it. In other words, by outsourcing it, using three-way calls, using the videos, using all the things we have, and just sticking with those three things. And one of the things is that this is the first company ever that I have found that everything locks in together. Nothing is contradictory. So, you know, Eric Worre then built on the story as to how we really develop our story with power and passion. So, you know, that you will never find anything contradictory. And the same with your incentives and your promotions. They will always back each other up over on top of one another, which is a very powerful thing. And I tell you, it's not common in companies. A lot of companies are not necessarily like that. They're going left field, right field, all over the place. We're in one direction as a team and also in the way we do things. Anita and Stella. Got you.
Here we go. Sorry. So we're enjoying the beautiful weather of Brisbane. I think we're getting a bit of a tan, and oh my gosh, our brains just, the sponge is oozing with just so much powerful stuff from the weekend. I think mine's very much been a very personal shift, which I think most of you know that we both, Anisha and I, have had a big year of the blocks. And at the end of Eric Worre's talk yesterday, which was absolutely mind-blowing on how many people have given me bullshit excuses, and I've just said, oh, okay. It was just fantastic. And right at the very end, he wanted us to make the biggest noise for us to be able to express where we want to go forward. And I just wanted to be silent. And my brain was going, oh, what's happening? And I found that I know, like I, in general, know there's times that I go really quiet. And that's I'm focusing. So I've actually learned the biggest thing for me in my personal life and business building is when I'm in a quiet space and I'm head down, I am focused and I'm just blown away. Like I've got bloody tears as I do. I was in a conflict in my head. I was supposed to go, but all I wanted to do was just go inside and feel all that growth that I had this weekend. So I've got to learn to love myself, and that's something we all need to do, and I haven't done that for quite some time. So there's a lot of shift for me personally, and I know that, and I've heard it before, I've got to be the product of the product, and I've got to love myself, and the rest is just going to flow. So we've got to remember to look after ourselves and love ourselves, and the rest will just follow, guys.
Awesome. Thank you, Stella. Anita, you want to add?
Well, yes, the whole weekend has been absolutely fantastic training, and in my second year at Celebration and 18 months down the track, every time I hear the same, as you say, everything is, it's always the same. Jen said it, that there's nothing different. But as a teacher, I know that when people say things in a different way, different people hear things and it resonates. And I found that with the knowledge I went in with, I was able to absorb and grow that knowledge to another level. And I just, the Truman Show's really resonating with me, because my storm of the last year, and I have broken through that. I mean, it's been extremely difficult, but I'm not letting it sink my ship. I'm getting back onto the boat and I'm going, and yes, I'm going to hit a wall, but I'm still going to open that door. And then yes, when I go through that door, the world's going to chuck stuff at me, and it's all going to be negative and all the rest of it. But actually, I've bought into that story for 57 years now. I'm letting that story go, and I'm making a new life for myself. And it's all about me this year. And that's been a really hard thing, that my whole life has been about everybody else. And this year I have to focus on me. I've got no choice. And I am, and I'm loving it. I'm actually learning who I am and what I want. And that is going to support the people that I'm with, and looking at from their point of view. How dare I stand in the way of helping other people to achieve what I've achieved in 18 months? It's just arrogant. They're so right. It's arrogant. Not going to do that anymore. That's mine.
Wow, Anita, what power. You can absolutely tell when someone steps into their power, and that was beautifully said. Well done. Okay, Mr. Star, Sam Star.
You might hang on.
There we are. I've got you. I'm unmuted. I've unmuted.
Okay, thanks. I've nearly lost my voice because I've been screaming the whole weekend. So yeah, there's not much of it left. But last year, that's because one of the people I've got here is Margaret, who's 80 years old, and she's really hard of hearing, so I had to scream the whole weekend. So anyway, for me, it's been quite amazing as well, same as everybody else. Very big contrast for me. This is my second celebration. Last year was my first, obviously. And last year I came as a guest. I was very new in the business, and with the leadership of Heather and Jen, it's been absolutely amazing. This year I've had probably the biggest year of change and growth I've actually ever had in my life. But this year I attended as a host rather than a guest. So I had two people here this year, and that's been absolutely life-changing for me to be able to watch and observe them. Both of them enrolled in IsaBody. One of them came to celebration as a guest as a result of a three-way call that Heather and I had just last week, and he enrolled on Saturday. And we got him started last night. I think I mentioned both of them got involved in IsaBody while they were up here. So yeah, just absolutely amazing. And I just had it reinforced with the power of getting other people here. I committed to I purchased 10 tickets for next celebration, and having a brief chat with Heather yesterday. Heather, you were saying about you're getting those faces associated with those seats with the tickets you purchased now, and that's perfect for the plan for executive. So it's fit in perfectly with me. It's now just an absolute perfect storm. So it's very appropriate, as you said, Anita, that we finished with the Truman story. Yeah, that's an incredible metaphor. So yeah, I'm fascinated with how it's been different for everybody on this call. Everybody's got different experiences, different takeaways. They've been moved in different ways. Yeah, and I'm incredibly excited because Anita, because of my voice, I can't be as powerful as you now, but my time is now as well. So yeah, it's very exciting times ahead, and it's been absolutely amazing.
Awesome. Thank you, Sam. I'll chuck back to Jen because I'm sure she's been listening intently and trying to unmute you. I've done it.
Yeah, it's I love everyone's takeaways, and we will, guys. It's literally, our brains are so full of it right now. But next Sunday night's call, we'll have a teaching piece from everyone who was there. So watch for that. And you guys you're going into your own event. really sit with what you want out of your event. What are you going there to learn? Who do you want to connect with? Like, you know, we talked about coming into this one for us, you know, fashion a question that if you bump into one of the millionaires or someone, and you've got a bunch of them who are going to be there, you know, say you walk into a Zach Sloban or someone and he's there for, you get 1 minute with him. What are you going to ask him? Have that same question fashioned, ready to ask every single person who's cool that you meet. So you'll just get the same. Anita said it. There's nothing new to teach. However, we need to hear the same thing from different people in different ways so that it lands, so that we can actually, you know, do something with it. So much, I'm so excited. So many learnings for so many people this year, including myself. So it's just plug in. You've still got time to get people there, move mountains, and just make it happen. I'm so excited for you guys, knowing where the company's going and what we're up to. It's so cool, like so cool.
Absolutely. And I'd like to say, you know, so proud of all of you guys, because I know that you've been on a call before this call tonight, planning your celebration and planning all catching up. And I think Julia put in the chat that, you know, there's over 30 of you going. That's already. So imagine what you can do between now and then. I know there is some tickets floating around. So, you know, use the examples that we've given you, Sam's example, my example, different ones of people who really did come in at the last minute. It is so worth it to do that. And I'd just like to finish with something which is, you've heard sort of banded around a bit, Kathy Coover and Eric Worre's slightly different way of telling your story. And I found that really powerful this weekend, because without having a template in front of me, I know that it's just so clear in my mind. So there's 4 things on this concept. And the first one is, you know, where were you? How was your life back before? What were you doing? What is your history? And then the second one is, what was your pain point? What didn't you like about it? What were you unhappy about it? And then the third one is, what is the solution that you found? And the fourth one is, how does your life look now? And Eric asked us, which is the most powerful of those 4 things for the person you're telling the story? And I'd be interested to see what you all thought. So, you know, 1, 2, 3, or 4. So what your life was before, what the pain point was about your life, what the solution is, and how your life's going to be. So maybe just throw in the chat 1, 2, 3, or 4. And let's just see, because I got it wrong. So let's just see what you thought. So I'll just go over it again, because I know I've done that pretty fast. So the first one, number 1, is how your life was. Number 2 is, what was the pain point in your life? Number 3 is, what was the solution you found? And number 4 is you know, how do you see your life now? So which do you think is the most important? Just throw in there 1, 2, 3, or 4, or put your fingers up, 1, 2, 3, or 4. Okay, so 3. Julia says 3. Someone else says 3. Okay, yeah, interesting. Okay, 4. That was me. I said 4. Okay, so it's actually the pain point. Okay, so it's number 2. It's actually what it was. Yeah, Lisa, that's it, number 2. It's what it was. And what I found doing this exercise, and I did it on business, not my personal transformation, that as I started talking about it, I shared something with the person I was sharing that I had never really shared, which is when I was in corporate, when I was working with companies like Isagenix, under the pressure that some of our guys are under to provide the services that you get, I used to have burst into tears quite regularly. Now I still burst into tears quite regularly because I'm a blue, but not in the same way. Not to come home after bursting into tears in a freaking boardroom because you couldn't get your point across and no one understood you, or because you were working with a partner who had different values to you and it just hurt inside, so you cried. And I suddenly realized that I don't have that anymore. You know, my business partner is the person I love more than anybody in the world, you know, my husband. And I'm working with people who've all got the same values. I'm on a call now with you guys and we've all got similar values. And it just hit me that you know, that pain point is so powerful. So yeah, those 4 things, just make up your story. Don't get hung up over it. And as I say make up, I don't mean make up as in make it up. I mean tell your story in those simple 4 points, because that's what it's about. The more people you tell that to, and we're committed to telling that story to 100 people. That was part of one of the commitments that we made. So yeah, that's it. That was my biggest takeaway. So I'm excited going forward, and I think I am more excited than I was last night being on this call and seeing all of you and knowing that we're all together moving forward with an international business. And Lisa, jump in.
I just really want to powerfully what you shared, Heather. It's really powerful. So guys, I wanted to share this with you based on what I'd started with, okay? So those 4 steps that Heather just said to you. So my story, before I was used to help people with financial hardship. And what was really frustrating about that, so credit card and mortgage debt, and what was really hard about that was that I would help people to get to, almost back to having cleared that credit card, and they'd just rack it up again, or they'd take out a personal loan and pay it out. And so I was continually banging my head against wanting to help people, but they just wouldn't help themselves. I found this company that was amazing, that not only helped me to feel in my best health, it allowed me to actually create an opportunity where people could generate an extra $50 or $100 a week or a month, whatever it was for them. And what I'm really excited about now, whatever people choose to do with their own finances is totally okay, but I have a solution, and I've partnered with a company that can leverage them out of the financial hardship that they're in and really create a life of their dreams. And so I invite you, come along with me. We've got this celebration on this weekend, and you can see what's possible for you.
Whoa.
Just thought I'd share. That's the power of what that 4 steps can do. And then let them make a choice, and either way is okay. So there you go. I just thought I'd share.
Thank you. Thanks, Lise. That's awesome. Where is she? You can come say hello. No, it's all right. That was Margaret in the background. So thanks, Lise. That was a great way to finish, and just wrapping that up, those 4 points. So utilize it, make it happen. It is 7:31, so we're out of here, guys. Love you all. So excited for you coming up over the next few weeks. We will talk soon. Mwah. Bye.
Have fun, guys. Enjoy. Laugh.
Bye.
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 Bye.